electric vehicle
Member's
target
time
of
has
50%
expired. Resume a
for
seat,
new
and I
car
call the member for
sales.
Fairfax.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And there's no doubt our country faces challenges. It always has and it always will. And how governments respond to those challenges define who they are, define their values. Now, we already know what Labor's values are by virtue of their tax policies. We know very well that Labor plans around franking credits, negative gearing tax, capital gains, family trusts. Labor's only solution with respect to the economy is tax. Tax, 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 tax. It is the only policy Labor relies on. In comes our challenge with climate change, and you would think that after nearly 6 years, the Labor Party would have actually done thorough costings on its policy. But it has not, Deputy Speaker. It has not. The opposition leader continues to stumble because he cannot answer the most basic of questions of what their climate change policy would cost. They haven't got a clue. Now, what we do know from independent modelling is that their climate change policy is in fact nothing more, Deputy Speaker, than yet another tax. Yet another tax. Let's take Tradie Joe, Deputy Speaker. Now, Tradie Joe, in a few years' time, might be very fortunate not to be one of the 336,000 people who lose their jobs as a result of Labor's energy policy. Tradie Joe survives. He's not one of those 336,000 who lose their job. Now, Tradie Joe, unfortunately, is paying 58% more in his energy bills, his electricity bills, because Labor's policies increased wholesale prices by 58% and they were passed through. Tradie Joe also is incurring $9,000 less in his wages. He's paying $5,000 more for his ute. He has a pie for lunch. Even the pie is taxed because of Labor's energy policy. He has a can of Coke. The can of Coke is taxed because of Labor's energy policy. He wants to buy his wife a packet of Tim Tams, but guess what? Labor has a Tim Tam tax, Deputy Speaker. This is the policies that are already being laid out by the Labor Party. Now, Tradie Joe is fictitious for one key reason, Deputy Speaker. We need to ensure those opposite do not get hold of the Treasury benches, because we know that their policies right across portfolios represent a wrecking ball to this economy. Now, if anybody is unsure about the impact and intent of the Labor Party with respect to energy, look at the state of Queensland, where they are in government. The state of Queensland, where the Queensland Labor government controls about 80% of energy, running a complete monopoly right across the supply chain outside of the southeast. A quarterly bill in Queensland, if you look at your quarterly bill, that's how much you are being ripped off by the Queensland Labor government on an annual basis, $468, because the Queensland Labor government is more than happy to ensure that reduction in wholesale prices, courtesy of the coalition federal government, are not passed on to consumers. They are more than happy to ensure that their inflated asset values are not written down so they can keep charging and ripping off customers. They are more than happy to do dodgy debt deals where the Labor government lends money to the Labor energy company, who in turn provides healthy dividends to the Labor government. That's the way they work. That's the way they operate, Deputy Speaker. Anything to do with serious policy, there's only one answer from the Labor Party, and it is tax It is tax, it is tax, it is tax, it is tax. Labor knows nothing but tax, and that is why they hope to kill this economy.